Hello, welcome to PAX Insider presented by DoorDash. We are here, the Outside Xbox, Outside Extra teams and friends to bring you the very best from PAX East 2023. But before we do that, DoorDash wants to fuel you up and help you stay in your game. Which is why they are providing a promotional code for people who sign up to Dash Pass. So if you sign up to Dash Pass with the code PAXE23, you will get 50% off your first order. So that's PAXE23 when you sign up for a Dash Pass. Yeah, if you get your orders in right now, it'll probably arrive before the end of the show. Yeah, you can do it now.
Could you be a bit more professional, please, and do what I did and have Andy do it off
Right.
stage with my
Frantically gesticulating.
Get me some fries.
How is that code going, Andy? Has that gone through okay? Silence.
That's a thumbs up, I think. That's a thumbs up.
Yeah.
What did you want? Charade it again.
I'm not going to charade a shrimp, which is what I want for lunch. One shrimp.
I can't hear you. You'll have to charade it. Well, that could be anything.
Okay, well, anyway, we had our own dash around the PAX East show floor to check out all the best things down there on the show floor. So let's take a look. Hello, Mario. Thank you very much.
Compliments of DoorDash.
All right, looks good.
You've just podiumed in the racing game. How do you feel?
If I was happy with second, then I wouldn't be much of a driver, and as it is, I'm furious. I know there are extra tents in there, and unfortunately I feel like the garage has let me down, everyone back at the factory has let me down as well. I'm furious.
Harsh words there from a broken man.
One of the biggest games here at PAX East 2023 is the next installment in the epic RPG series, Final Fantasy XVI, which comes out on June 22nd exclusively on PlayStation 5. Let's take a look at it now.
No matter how bitter the truth that awaits me, I will press on. Good boy.
What do we do?
The usual. 13 years I've waited for this chance. I won't be dying today.
I'm very pleased to say that we have the producer of the game, Naoki Yoshida, here in the studio with us. Thank you for joining us, Yoshida-san. So, obviously, for me, one of the great joys of a new Final Fantasy game is a brand new world to explore. What can you tell me about the realm of Valisthea?
So the Final Fantasy series has traditionally been a high fantasy type of series. Some of the more recent titles have kind of moved into science fiction, but with Final Fantasy 16, we wanted to go back to the roots of the series and go back to high fantasy. So the world of Valisthea is a high fantasy world that's dangerous, but it's got its mysteries. There are past civilizations that we'll learn about, the fallen civilizations, and it's a really exciting world and a world that I think that players can really get into and will really enjoy.
And from the slaughter shall a new shadow rise.
One of the big additions to the game is people turning into icons. And I think, long-time fans of the series will recognize some of the summons from the previous games battling against each other. These sort of icon versus icon battles, how do they change the sort of scale and drama of battles in the game?
So as you know, in the Final Fantasy series, summons are usually magic spells that a summoner will cast to bring in this otherworldly being into the world to basically temporarily fight in battle and then go away again. But in Final Fantasy 16, we are linking those summons to the characters, to the dominants, these people that house the icons inside them. And so we can tell the story not only of the icon but of the dominant as well, and we can get a deeper look into what drives these characters, what drives these icons, what are they thinking, why are they fighting, and get a deeper look into these beings as characters and not just things that are brought into battle. And we hope that we can bring a lot of surprises to the player because of that.
What are the dominants? The power we wield. It wears away at our very being. It breaks us. It unmakes us. That its immaculate aspect might reveal itself. The icon.
I think it's fair to say that Final Fantasy is one of the most beloved video game series on the planet. What do you think is the key to that enduring success?
So the Final Fantasy series is a storied series, has 35 years of history, and looking back at the past titles created by all these great creators in the series, is that it's always been about wanting to bring surprise to the fans, about bringing a deep story with high quality, stunning graphics. And we've done that, and we have built up over that time this great community of fans, which we believe is one of the greatest communities of gamers in the whole world. And to continue having their support and show them that we're doing something exciting is that we always want to bring something new to the series. It's always about challenging. Every single title in the Final Fantasy series is about challenging something new. And with Final Fantasy 16, we've tried a lot of new things with this. We're challenging a lot of new things that we've never done before, and we can't wait for players to get their hands on the game.
Well, there's definitely been a huge response here at PAX East to the game, both on the show floor and in particular at the panel on Saturday afternoon. So let's check that out.
チョイスしてもらえるので、ぜひですね、今まで遊んだことのないという人はこの16ぜひ注目していただきたいです。
All right. And so what is it that makes this Final Fantasy series unique? Is that, however, despite the fact that the titles are numbered, each one is independent from the others. It features its own story, its own characters, its own systems, and its own feel. And Final Fantasy 16 is no different in that sense. And so it should be just as accessible to a newcomer to the franchise as it is to a longtime fan. Players will not need to play any of the games before this to fully enjoy Final Fantasy 16. But of course, it's okay if you do.
I think we can see from the presence here at PAX East that Final Fantasy has one of the most loyal fan bases in gaming. What would be your message to those loyal Final Fantasy fans ahead of the game's release in June?
I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but again, the Final Fantasy series is about bringing that rich, deep narrative and those beautiful graphics and that exciting game experience. But again, like we said, it's about challenging something new. The series is about challenging something new, and with Final Fantasy 16, we've our biggest challenge here is moving the game from a turn-based experience to full-time, real action battles. And again, we know that there are a lot of players out there that were looking forward to a turn-based system, but we think that we have built something that is really, really accessible to players, because we want a lot of players, not just series fans, but new fans as well, to come in and enjoy this game. And we think that we have created something that all fans can enjoy, and we really hope that players look forward to.
Thank you very much, Yoshida-san, for coming to visit us, and we're all looking forward to the game. To watch the full panel, head to twitch.tv/PAX for the main stage on Saturday programming, and do check out Final Fantasy 16 when it comes out on June 22nd, exclusively on PlayStation 5. Next up is one of my personal favourite things, which is when a classic 90s Saturday morning cartoon gets turned into a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
Oh, you mean like Shredder's Revenge?
A bit like Shredder's Revenge, but this...
Toxic Crusaders, based on the 1991 animated series that only went for 13 episodes, but it holds a special place in the heart of everyone who heard the theme song, which goes, Toxic Crusaders, like this.
Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders. I had no friends, no girls would hug me until I got radioactive ugly.
So we've been playing this on the show floor at PAX. The booth looks
So much
amazing.
fun. Yeah.
Full of barrels of toxic waste and things like that.
Yeah.
Game's playable in 4-player co-op.
Yeah, we played in 4-player.
Yeah.
Luke and I got into trouble with some slime. Toxie was there. He didn't really help much.
Hello, I'm here at the Toxic Crusaders booth down on the show floor at PAX East with slime expert Luke Westaway, who appears to have found some slime.
Yes, I found some new slime for my collection. It's in a small green barrel. I'll just open it now. And now a simple case.
We appear to have been joined by the Toxic Avenger himself. Toxie, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Toxie.
Hello, hi.
And this is your slime. Are we okay to take some?
Absolutely. Hey, just don't get it all over you. You'll end up like this.
Okay. I've already come into contact with it on my hand.
Better wash your hands.
Okay, right.
Okay, well, R.I.P. Luke. He had a good run, I think. Thank you, Toxie, for your time.
I feel quite weak, Andy.
So much for the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
The Toxic Bystander when you needed his help.
Yeah, exactly. But the game is really fun. You know, it's that kind of Streets of Rage, Final Fight style, side-scrolling beat-em-up. We were playing 4-player. It was absolute chaos.
It absolutely was, yeah.
A lot of picking people up and slamming them into things and picking cars up over your head and throwing them at people.
Yeah, let's take a look.
I'm not even going to throw this guy. I'm just going to jump back and forth holding him. Okay, I'm going to bench forever. Nothing left to bury. Nothing left to bury.
I live in the dark 'cause the rent's real low. Got a little bit blood and he loves me so. Toxic Crusaders, Toxic Crusaders.
And we are joined by Ryan Schott, who is the producer on Toxic Crusaders. So tell me about this project, because it is a real labor of love for you guys, right?
Absolutely. Like the old toys, growing up, all of that, the old Genesis and games that weren't so great. You know, I mean, they're fine. It's all fine. But, you know, I wanted to do a beat 'em up that was like season 2 of the show.
Because the original was only, what, 13 episodes?
13 episodes.
Taken from us so soon.
Cut cruelly short. And you wanted to redress the
Absolutely.
balance.
So we wanted to continue the story of the Toxic Crusaders, and then we also wanted to capture what it felt like to play with the toys. Because I feel like that's the nostalgic memory that everyone had. So the first thing I did when I was like, okay, we're doing this project, we got it licensed, all of that. I said, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna buy production artwork. And luckily, I managed to get all of the Playmates production artwork for the canceled season 2.
Incredible, man.
So I took all of that and I gave it straight to our artists, and I'm like, this is what I want. And then we bought every toy.
Was that strictly necessary, be honest?
Well, you know, so we bought every toy, and I'm like, see that gun? That's the gun. A Bonehead needs a bike. This is the bike.
Nice. And you've not just licensed stuff from Toxic Crusaders, but from the entire Troma Films back catalogue.
The whole Tromaverse, right? So we're gonna take you to Nukem High. You know, we're gonna take you to the land of Poultrygeist, right? So you will fight zombie chickens in this game, guaranteed.
Guaranteed. I was gonna that is the promise,
right?
Tell me about the comic book cutscenes, because they look amazing.
Yeah, so, you know, the one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to build a custom system so that we could do comic storytelling. So we went and we did that, So we have a bit of a cell effect. It's actually composed in 3D, but we're gonna have full voice acting from our friends Team 4-Star. It allows us to synchronize their voice acting and to really take those static shots and make them come to life like you're watching a show.
Don't sweat it, No Zone. Looks like Killamov's heading into the Tromaville Health Club. We can bring him to justice and work on our glutes at the same time.
You leave my glute out of this.
Awesome. So when can we expect the game to come out?
We're looking to bring it out at the end of the year. I'm gonna say fourth quarter for now. I'm not ready to announce a release date. The minute I am, I will though.
Awesome. Cool, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Crusaders. Toxic Crusaders. Toxic.
Welcome back to the PAX Insider presented by DoorDash Studio, where we are joined by a special guest, Veronica Valencia from thepopverse.com, your one-stop shop for all pop culture-y stuff. How's it going? Have you been enjoying the show?
I've been having such a great time. It's my first time at PAX East, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good vibes on the show floor, right?
Very good, very good. A lot of cool stuff to see, for sure.
So what have you had your eye on? Obviously, you're sort of well into the kind of pop culture stuff. Has there been much to check out on the show floor?
Oh yeah, definitely. One of the things that immediately caught my eye was the Lord of the Rings Gollum game.
Yes.
We are just getting so much Lord of the Rings content right now. We have the beautifully shot Rings of Power that's on Amazon Prime. We're about to get a couple more new movies. So we're really rich with that content right now. And when I saw that, I was like, well, I want to go try and check it out and play it a little bit. I'll admit, I was not great.
It's quite a stealthy game, right? You know, so you're playing
is.
as Gollum, and he's sneaking around the place and stuff. So a lot of it is kind of interacting with locations and characters from the books. But you're kind of hiding in the shadows. So there's one sequence that I played when I played that game where they're having a conversation and you're kind of trying to move around the room and get stuff done while this sort of exposition-y sort of conversation is happening. So it's quite cool.
Sounds right up my street.
Yeah, absolutely. They've said they've had their own imagining of Gollum, so it's not the movie Gollum, but it does look quite a lot. Yes, he does do a voice a bit like that. Yeah, and he does look quite a lot like the movie Gollum. They're not straying too far, but it's based on the books, basically.
Yeah, and you do get to explore the duality of that character
Yes.
a little bit more, Schmeagol and kind of Gollum, and make choices based on those two.
Yeah, really good time to be a Lord of the Rings fan, right?
It really is. Again, we just have so much content coming out.
Now, obviously, there are a lot of video games at PAX East, but there's also a really strong tabletop community, right?
Yes, and I love tabletop games. I actually went to PAX Unplugged last year, which was very exciting. And one of the games that I wanted to play that I did not get the chance to was Everdale.
Oh, okay.
And I got to play Lil Everdale, which is a smaller, compact version of the larger popular game. And this is more worker placement, so it's very with the same vibe of Wingspan, which is one of my favorite tabletop games, and also Flamecraft, which is equally adorable. But it's very cute because you're essentially just trying to make a little town while collecting a bunch of cards, as well as collecting a few items to try and make your town larger. And the artwork is very, very cute. And what's really cool about this game in particular is that, unlike a game like Wingspan, where you are very focused on trying to make your board look the best, have the highest amount of points, collect the most amount of points, this game you can kind of sabotage a little bit, which is really cool. Because if you're seeing that someone is about to get a parade, basically, which is a big amount of points, you can kind of steal cards that prevent them from getting that.
Wow.
So that's a really cool mechanic that I enjoy.
They've added vindictiveness to it. I love it.
And it's so cute up front.
Yeah. I think anything that allows you to subvert something cute is great. It's fine by me.
It's quite the accomplishment. They can do both.
So is there anything else that caught your eye on the show floor?
Yeah, so also on the show floor, there was a Q Workshop who had a really cool set of dice that was The Witcher themed.
Oh, hang on. Sorry. That's my DoorDash delivery. Yeah.
Did you order DoorDash?
Yes. Yeah,
awesome.
that was me. Hey,
Here's your
thank
order.
you.
No
thank
problem.
you so much.
Have a great
Wonderful.
day.
Yeah, you
Oh
too.
my god, did you get us some snacks and food?
No, this is just for me.
Just you?
Yeah, I assume you guys would eat later, I guess.
Mate, we have a guest. This isn't being good with British hospitality.
Well, you have the app, right, on your phone? And you know the promo code. It's PAXE23. Save you some money.
That smells so good.
I know, I can really smell that.
Yeah, it smells delicious. You should really try it.
I mean, I would love to. Ridiculous.
One publisher that always goes big at PAX is Devolver Digital, and PAX East 2023 is no exception. They threw an enormous community panel for Cult of the Lamb on Saturday.
They're just like so much more. I remember when the guys sent the list of what was going to be in the update, and I just kept on reading down and down and down, and there are just so many things. So
we got a bit carried away. Yeah,
It's too much.
We were meant to just do these relic things, and yeah, so sorry it's taking so long. It's because we kept adding things.
And as usual, Devolver Digital's booth on the show floor is one of the most spectacular, right?
Oh yeah, spectacular, and I think the only one with a sacrificial altar.
We can only hope. We went to check it out.
Hello, I'm extremely excited to be here with Mike by the Devolver Digital booth at PAX East 2023. And I'm excited because, Mike, do you think it's fair to say that Devolver has kind of established itself as the indie publisher of record in the last few years?
I think that's a fair comment, yeah, and I love what they've done with the booth as well. It feels like I'm going to the movies.
Nice theming. Yeah, it's a publisher with a lot of pedigree. In the last few years alone, they've published games like Death's Door, Inscription, Loop Hero, Carrion, and of course, Genital Jousting.
Who could forget Genital Jousting?
I will never. So Devolver's showing off 3 games.
Yes.
They're showing off Cult of the Lamb, which actually came out last year, but what's new is the DLC Relics of the Old Faith. They are showing off Angerfoot, which is developed by Free Lives. It's a sort of fast-paced first-person shooter about kicking. And Terra Nil as well, which is a reverse city builder strategy game. We've only seen trailers, so I'm really looking forward to going hands-on with this one.
Yeah, it's got a sort of like environmental angle. You can sort of, you're almost like rewilding the world. So.
Rewilding, it's a nice phrase, isn't it?
I love saying it, rewilding.
Yeah.
I'll just keep saying it, rewilding.
So Angerfoot was fun.
Yes, I had a lot of fun with
Yeah,
that.
right.
It was like being trapped in a Berlin techno nightclub, but I was
good.
kicking everyone, basically. It was incredible. It's got that really like stretched sort of perspective field of view thing.
I think it has to accommodate all of the leg that it needs
Yeah,
to
it needs
to get in
extreme
view.
protrusion of leg.
Yeah, the leg has a much more generous hitbox than you might assume.
Certainly does, yeah. You can reach some real distances with that leg.
Yeah, it's really fun. The leg is a primary weapon. We only played through a few levels, but you know there was also like other weaponry and stuff. But you can always fall back on kicking something hard or kicking something hard into something else.
I think what I like about this is it's recognised that any game that has the kick, that's always the most fun bit of the game, right?
Yes.
So why not just build the entire game around the concept
kicking.
of the kick?
Yeah. I was surprised that the levels in Angerfoot are not randomly generated. To look at it, you might think that when you kick open a door, like the game is procedurally generating whatever's coming next.
Sure.
But actually, the levels are all like static and replayable. And what that means is that clearly the game wants you to play again and again and again and just perfect your run through each level.
Yeah, and at the end you'll feel like John Wick because you'll be kicking doors in and shooting things and booting guys across the room and stuff. And the entire thing will play out, like a really, really slick action sequence.
But you will need to practice because it's hard.
It's
a hard game.
Yeah, one hit and you are toast.
I know.
When you get killed, if you leave it on the death screen for a bit, your enemies taunt you by dancing. That's also...
Is this fair?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Slightly different in tone.
Yeah.
Was Terra Nil. From the same developer.
From the same developer. From the same developer as Angerfoot and indeed Genital Jousting comes Terra Nil. An extremely chill,
soothing, meditative,
good vibes game.
Yeah. About like rewilding and returning, nature to a blasted landscape, which is lovely.
I think the conceit of this is so elegant because immediately you grasp that it is a city building game, a genre with which our viewers are probably quite familiar. But you're just doing everything essentially in reverse.
Yes.
You are still sort of saving up resources, buying new equipment and generally expanding, but what you're doing is just decluttering.
Yes.
And removing.
You're returning it to that blank canvas at the beginning of a SimCity game, basically.
Yeah. It's really beautiful.
Music's lovely.
The music's lovely. It's got a really, really nice vibe. It looks, from what we've only played a little bit, but it looks from what we have seen, like there are going to be a lot of different environments that you can play in, so that looks really good. I think it's going to be one of those games to just pop on sandbox mode and just sort of like vibe out to.
Yeah. Although, to be honest, they did say actually that there is a sort of puzzle element and a resource management element, and so there is a challenge to it. You can play it like in that sort of sandbox style, but there is actually a sort of challenge to it and a puzzle, and there will be situations where you sort of paint yourself into a corner with what you're trying to do, and you'll have to sort of restart. So you will have to engage your brain a little bit, but it's super soothing.
Soon you'll be relaxed enough to go play more Angerfoot.
Yes, exactly.
And then after a few minutes of Angerfoot, you'll be like, why did I leave Terra Nil?
Just wildly
just
pendulum in between these two states of mind. And the final thing we played was a little bit more of Cult of the Lamb. Relics of the Old Faith, which is the new DLC that's coming out.
Yeah, coming out soon. Cult of the Lamb was a bit of a surprise hit last year. It's this sort of rogue light. However, there's a whole other side to the game, which is building a cult of cute animals.
Also good, obviously.
Yeah, this game can take you to some dark places, if that's where you want to go.
But at least you'll be followed into those dark places by adorable animals.
Well, yeah, by some sweet squirrels who trust you, and maybe shouldn't.
It's very combat focused, right, this DLC?
Yeah, the update, it adds like a new heavy attack. So I think basically it's just more Cult of the Lamb for those who are enjoying it, which is good news.
Yeah, and who can turn their noses up at that. And we got to play it on possibly the biggest screen on the show floor.
Yeah.
In the middle of a sacrificial altar, essentially.
Yeah.
If you'd like to find out more about these games, then head over to devolverdigital.com where you'll find all the information you need. And in the meantime, Luke, I have joined the Cult of the Lamb.
Have you?
Yes.
Oh no.
That's fine. It's all
if
good.
you're doing it, maybe I should.
Yes, I think you should.
But is everyone doing it?
Speaking as a representative of the cult, yes, you should definitely join. It's warm and nice here.
I'm quite susceptible to peer pressure, so yeah, I suppose I'm in.
Great.
Are there benefits?
No.
Okay.
There is a game here at PAX East 2023 which is celebrating a major milestone, and that game is Final Fantasy XIV. It has been 10 years since the launch of A Realm Reborn, and Ellen is here to talk about it.
Hello.
So one of the big things that they're doing to celebrate this major milestone is a collaboration with Puma for apparel, right? Clothes so good, even the player characters are wearing them.
Right? And they do genuinely look really, really cool.
So you actually went down and checked this stuff out, right? It's down in the lobby, right front and center at the show. So yeah, what do you think?
I want to steal all of it.
Nice.
I really like the trainers. They're all really nice.
The trainers look very, very
And there's
cool.
some like really cozy jogging bottoms and hoodies. Take a look for yourself.
So we are here checking out the Puma Final Fantasy crossover collaboration collection, a wardrobe reborn. And let me tell you, there is some flash-looking footwear out here on the PAX floor. So if you come down onto the show floor yourself, you can check out these rather lovely, if you're a Warrior of Light, these are right up your street. But what if you're something darker? What if you're a Final Fantasy XIV fan who prefers the more purple look? These ones are absolutely stunning. I am very tempted to try and get myself a pair because they match my hair. I mean, come on, they look good with this outfit, right? Right. Which trainers do you have your eye on? Because I have my eye on some of them.
Honestly, the Zodiac ones are really fresh. Now, I'm a Warrior of Light, but that purple and black look is so good.
Right. Purple's my color, so I'm so tempted by it. So, yeah. Maybe you want to look cool and cozy as you play Final Fantasy XIV. Well, you can, because there's these wonderful jumpers and hoodies that look cozy as heck. My favorite in particular is this one. Look how freaking adorable that is. And hey, maybe you want to meet some of your heroes from Final Fantasy XIV. There's a lovely photo opportunity here as they're wearing all the cool gear that can be found in the Puma crossover, and they're really tall. He's got some pins on him. Also, for fans who do come down and take a picture, if you come over here, one of them has a little signature on there that you might recognize as Yoshi P's. He came here. It was so cool. Now, I must say, you are looking really cool, all decked out in the Puma Final Fantasy XIV collection. What do you think about it? Person of a few words.
Now, I don't want to overstate this, but PAX East 2023 is full of Final Fantasy XIV fans.
Oh my
there are
goodness.
so many Final Fantasy XIV fans.
So
here.
many.
Yeah.
They're so nice. There's so many of them in fantastic cosplay of characters from the game. I walked along with Yoshida-san and they were all like, oh my gosh, it was really cool.
There was a panel on the Friday for Final Fantasy XIV, and the queue began a lot earlier than the queue was supposed to begin.
Yeah, the queue was supposed to start at 12, but it started well before that. So I went and bugged a few of the fans to find out what they were looking forward to and what they'd liked in the past from the game.
Yeah, from the last 10 years.
What has been your favourite memory of the game in the last 10 years?
Oh boy.
That's difficult.
That's a hard question. There's so many. The last trial of the last expansion, the music, the culmination of all of this 10 years of the story, it was just amazing.
Our FC leader actually gifted us her personal house, which is a small house on the Mist beachfront. And it's a perfect location for a pirate bar, let's just say.
It has to be when I beat Heaven's War for the first time.
One of my favorite memories is getting the Fenrir bike in the game. When they put that in there, it was pretty hype.
Mine's also mount related, the little fat Shiba drifting on it.
Doing maybe like alliance raids with like big groups of friends.
Just the ability to connect with a lot of our friends, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. It gave us a way to socialize in game and hang out.
I'd probably say it'd either be the story or my friends that I've made.
I would say getting to play with my friends.
Oh yeah, clearing UCOB. I love UCOB.
Moving over from 1.0 to Realm Reborn, I mean, that was kind of a big event. Yeah, being there for that was pretty cool.
And when it came back and it was so good. I think that whole like camaraderie you made with other people and whatnot was awesome.
What are you hoping for with the game in the next 10 years?
That'll keep going.
I hope that it stays strong and like more and more people get to join because it's like freaking awesome.
More Summoner?
Yeah.
Just kind of keeping things going with like how fun it is. I mean, it's like one of the few games I keep going back to every now and then, so.
Honestly, I would just like things to continue as is. Like, the story's amazing. I've met amazing people, amazing cosplayers.
Love to see more expansions, more great storylines, more music. Like the music in this game is phenomenal. So just more content, yeah.
The previous expansion has just ended. So I'm looking forward to exploring more areas in Eorzea, in the world, and seeing where the story takes us.
I'm just very curious to see where they're going with the story too.
For me, I just want to make sure that they keep the same formula that they have because it's worked so well, and then just build on that. I trust the devs to make the right decisions because they certainly have so far.
So what was the vibe at the panel?
Everyone was just really, really excited to be there, and also there was some hot gossip dropped. Yeah.
My private character, of course, nobody knows that I'm actually Yoshida playing while I'm using my private character. So I get the opportunity to play with various different people. And so we would go on different raids. Sometimes we might take on the challenge of doing a savage raid. And it's really exciting to be able to get through some of those challenging content.
If there's an AFK person in an area, like that might be just Yoshida-san people watching in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yoshida just leaves his character there by the aetheryte, just kind of watch people.
And of course, you had to also ask him
Yes,
what his favourite memories were.
I got to ask him some questions and I'm so excited. I've got some big Final Fantasy XIV fans who are close friends of mine and they all will hate me now.
Here it is.
Thank you for joining us, Yoshida-san. My first question is, what is your favourite memory of Final Fantasy XIV over the last 10 years?
そうですね。
So there's so many different memories that I have over this last 10 years, and I actually mentioned this during the stage, the panel session stage, but in 2014 we did our first fan festival, and our first location was in North America, and the players there welcomed me so much, and that was such a great memory. And of course, throughout these 10 years, we had so many Warriors of Light, our players, support us on our game, and so it was very exciting for the team and myself, and it's that makes it very memorable.
What themes and areas would you like to explore in the next 10 years? Big question.
そうですね。あんまり
So I'm afraid I can't go into the specifics because of spoilers, but of course adventure is definitely going to be a great theme we want to cover. There's still many places that the Warrior of Light have yet to go. We have these different fragments of the world that we haven't explored yet, even within the planet of Hydaelyn, or this world we call Aetheris. There's still many areas that we haven't explored. Our Warrior of Light, or our players, are going to be, we're hoping to deliver more experiences that they can enjoy in the coming 10 years.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm so intrigued to see what happens next, and thank you for joining.
Thank you.
There you go. So if you would like to join the literal millions of players playing Final Fantasy XIV right now, there is a free trial available. So go and check that out.
27 million.
27 million registered players.
27 million registered players.
That's incredible.
Join them. They're all really nice.
I don't think we can promise they're all. There are a lot of them. The ones who are here.
The ones who are here were lovely.
Dominating the PAX East show floor is the PAX Arena, which is the home of amateur esports. And when I heard that, I thought, who better to cover the amateur esports than Luke Westaway?
Wait.
I didn't mean it like that.
This is a character assassination.
So the highlight of the weekend, for me certainly, was the Pac-Man 99 tournament.
Yes.
On the Friday night.
Yeah.
Right, how are your Pac-Man 99 skills?
Extremely good, Mike. As long as you have no follow-up questions or desire for me to prove that in any way.
No, but tell us a little bit about Pac-Man 99. What's the gist of it?
Oh, okay. Well, Pac-Man 99, if you're not aware, is a battle royale version of the classic arcade game Pac-Man. Players have been competing to basically take part in these finals, and the way that it's worked is that the best players have now been sorted into 4 teams, which have been captained, if you will, by influencers here at PAX East 2023. So these are the finals. It all comes down to this.
And it was a 4-hour epic, and so we sent Luke and other crack sports reporter Andy down to cover the action.
All the players that have made it to today's final have already proven their worth as Pac-Man 99 experts, but the tournament format here is designed to push their powers to the limit. Teams of 5 go head-to-head with all players part of a 99-player game. Players earn points on the event leaderboard based on their final placement in each of those games, ranging from 1 point earned for a 99th place finish to a glorious 50 points earned for a Pac 1 victory. It's a war of attrition in which every team member's contribution counts, including those of the team captains, 4 influencers hoping to lead their players to glory: Lana Ray, D Piddy, 5UP and Cleo Thomas. We had the opportunity to catch up with Lana Ray and Cleo before their first head-to-head.
I'm here with Lana Ray, content creator and one of the team leaders of the Pac-Man 99 tournament. How are you feeling, Lana Ray? Are you feeling optimistic about your team's chances?
I'm very excited. I think my team has a great chance at winning. They have a great friendship and they've been practicing for a very long time, so I'm very confident in them. Me personally, I'm excited, a bit nervous, but excited.
Very, very excited and very confident. You know, I got some really, really amazing players with me. I got Uncle Slam, I got Such, I got Savix, and I got Judgment Day with me.
What would your message be to the competition?
Thanks for showing up. We appreciate you coming here. We needed somebody to play in the first round, obviously.
The level of play here is genuinely absolutely spellbinding.
You probably think that Pac-Man is quite an easy game where you just go around a maze. Having watched this, it is astonishingly skill-based. You can see the red Pac-Mans on the screen. Those are jammers, which if the other players touch those jammers in their game, they will die and be removed from the game. So they've got to avoid those. Players are just putting as many of those into other people's games as they can by devouring ghosts in their own game. It is incredibly complex, requires a lot of tactics.
What's super impressive to me is the number of different strategies on show. There was one very ably demonstrated by Lana. in a recent game, and that is essentially to get as many of these sleeping ghosts as you can see to form a gigantic trail of edible ghosts. But then, not to eat all those ghosts at once and thereby send game-ruining jammers to rival players, but to keep that train going and just to keep it on your screen for as long as possible, and just to wait and bide your time, get it as long as possible, so that when you do eventually devour them all, it is an absolutely like a
game-breaking
combo.
That is a gigantic train. Oh
that's going to be a big problem.
33 train. I knew nothing about Pac-Man 99 until about 20 minutes ago, and now it's the only sport I care about.
As the epic tournament wore on, ingenious strategies and incredible clutch plays had the PAX crowds gasping in amazement. But as the showdown reached its thrilling conclusion, only one team could walk away victorious.
Guys, the top 3 right now are all from Cleo's team. Ooh. They're all from Cleo's team, and Savix's story just writes itself at this point.
The team captained by Cleo Thomas, who brought to a victorious end their weeks-long campaign here at PAX East.
You called it!
I called my number. Yo, big shout out to Team 5 Up. They came through and celebrated. They made sure to bring their A game. But Team Cleo came through and represented, man. Savix, Uncle Slam, Such, Judgment Day. We dominated and came back, baby.
So, most important question, did you find out who the 4 ghosts are the ghosts of?
No, I didn't.
My theory is the Beatles.
The Beatles. Well, I would have...
I know 2 of them are alive, but...
Before Pac-Man 99, I would have said an unquestioning yes to your theory, Mike, because it's brilliant. However, of course, in Pac-Man 99, as you will all have seen, there are so many more ghosts now than just the 4. There are all of those sleeping ghosts being activated and stuff. So, you know, it can no longer be the Beatles. It would have to be a much larger musical group, unfortunately.
Well, do you ever think that, you know, all the ghosts that have ever existed must be all around us?
No, I think you think about ghosts a lot more than I do.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, Mike, I have to go now because I must start warming up and practicing for what I think will be my glorious Pac-Man 99 debut at PAX
next year.
2024. Yeah, next year.
Oh, wow, okay, so you're in training?
Yeah, I'm in training. I think, you know, having watched it, I'm thinking how hard can it be, basically, and I think I'm already... Oh, no, I've lost.
Oh, wow, that was early doors.
Yeah, shameful.
Now on PAX Insider presented by DoorDash, we have a very special guest. It's Rachel Watts,
Hello.
reviews editor from Rock Paper Shotgun, the PC website.
And Andy is here too.
And Andy is also here, but you're always here.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's a comfy sofa.
It's extremely comfy.
It is very comfy.
I'm going to be sleeping on that sofa tonight.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Okay.
So, Rachel, you've been running around the show floor, checking out a bunch of interesting, like, small indie titles and stuff.
Yes, I have.
What have you been playing?
So, there's a game, right?
No way.
Oh man, here at PAX. I played it at PAX West
Right.
and I loved it, and I saw it was playing here as well.
Okay.
It's called Demon School by Usbird Games. It's basically like a turn-based, kind of like Scooby-Doo-esque Mystery Inc. situation. Sold. Right? Yeah. So where you play as a group of high schoolers who are solving a bunch of investigations. The portal to hell, the underworld, another world has opened, a bunch of demons have flooded in, and it's up to you to kick their ass. So
nice.
It's really cool. As I said, turn-based tactics, a lot of like synergy working together. The art style looks amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very punchy. So yeah, I've just had a really good time beating up skeletons, basically.
There's nothing quite like beating up skeletons in video games. It is a regular habit of mine.
So
how do you solve these mysteries in the game?
So it's kind of set into 2 parts. It's very Persona.
Oh,
so you have the one part which is like going to classes, like what are we going to do after senior year situation?
Right.
And the other half is, beating up a bunch of ghosties and ghoulies. So I assume that like people come to you for help or you go investigate in the town. That's the story half. And then the second half is you find what's going on and then whoop ass.
All right. Sounds ace. I'm in.
Nice.
It's really cool.
I have been playing Pacific Drive, which is quite cool. So it's a sort of, basically it's you and your sort of Ecto-1 style station wagon trying to survive in the Olympic exclusion zone, which is a bit of the Pacific Northwest in America. That is full of sort of strange anomalies. So think like, you know the film The Mist, where there's weird monsters and things. You know, the Stalker games, like with the anomalies and things like that. So it's really atmospheric. Like they've worked so hard on the sort of atmosphere of the game, and it's all about you kind of repair your car to keep it going, and you're looking to collect things, and you sort of venture out into this zone with all the anomalies. So it's got this really nice sort of survival, crafting kind of vibe, but the idea that your car is a sort of safe haven, you've got to keep it maintained, otherwise it becomes sort of like unsafe essentially. So super enjoy playing that. It's all kind of first person, it's got really nice art style, great sound design, and I think just generally the sort of Pacific Northwest is a very cool, evocative sort of location for that sort of thing anyway.
So we've had Scooby-Doo Mysteries and the Pacific Northwest, so I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
There's WrestleQuest is here.
Nice.
Yes.
PAX East, which I love. It's a old school JRPG style game, but it's based around professional wrestling. So, I mean, that's my recommendation. Check WrestleQuest out. It's absolutely ludicrous.
Yeah, the writing looks like really good for that.
Yeah,
as
it's
well,
very in-jokey, very inside.
Exactly.
We actually have like wrestlers dressed up here at PAX East, like with a huge wrestling ring, and they're doing like fights.
We've been in the wrestling ring. It was great.
Yes.
We had a great time. I got a little photo from there.
Did you wear the belt?
Andy had the belt.
Oh, hell yeah.
Andy was the title holder, but I'm coming for you at WrestleQuest Mania this April.
Yeah, all right, fine. Bring it on.
I'm going to point at the sign. What else have you played, Rachel?
So I'm keeping with the theme of like demons and the underworld.
Good.
So another game I've been playing is Hell of an Office by 43 Studios. It's essentially neon white but set in hell, where your only means of survival is a stapler.
Right.
Yes, very much that. So you have the dash movement, and with your stapler you can fire it at the floor and it will launch you into the air.
Like rocket jumps, but with a stapler.
Exactly, with a stapler.
Amazing.
So you're making your way through hell, like all these levels are sinking, so you've got to go fast. There's like worst boss mugs sinking into the into the background. You know, old crusty computers as well. Like it's really cool. It was very like heart pumping, very neon white basically, but yeah, in hell.
Sounds very
that
good.
was great. I'm still like reeling from it. Like my heart
Heart
rate's
rate's
through the
still going.
roof.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Awesome. Well, if you'd like to see more of Rachel's work, head over to rockpapershotgun.com, where you'll get loads of stuff from PAX and beyond. So yeah, check it out. Thank you so much for joining us here on PAX Insider, presented by DoorDash. Have you guys had a good show?
Yeah.
Had fun?
Always good vibes at PAX, I think.
Really good,
Absolutely, yeah, it's been a great show. Thank you so much for joining us. If you want to take advantage of that DoorDash code, it is PAXE23 when you sign up for a Dash Pass. That will save you 50% off your first order, and that code is good through to the 16th of April. So definitely get on that. Yeah, we hope to see you again very soon for one of these shows. Thank you to DoorDash for presenting, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Luke, that live octopus you ordered from DoorDash is here.
How is this an octopus?
Well, it's here anyway.